What's going on, golf addicts? Welcome to the 3M Open 2022 betting show with the Tour Junkies. I'm DB. I got Pat Perry. We are coming off the Open Championship where, you could be a little hungover or you could be fucking pumped because you hit Cam Smith at 28-1 like I did on DB's Big Balls betting card. That's the third winner in the last 4 weeks for
Woo!
Team TJ and the 14th outright win of the season, y'all.
Oh, that's
We're
pretty
hot.
good. That's
We are
pretty
hot.
good.
Pat, I'm excited. We nailed Cam Smith. Talked about him all week. Talked about him on the DFS show. Talked about him on the betting show. Talked about him in the Nut Hut chat all week. I mean, Pat, I thought about it from a month ago on June 14th when we were walking the fairways of the old course on like the third or fourth hole. It was delivered to me. It was dropped into my soul. When out of my mouth, I said, this is a Cam Smith or Jordan Spieth golf course.
Mhm.
And, Cam had to do Cam things. He had to do Cam things to win. But that's what he does. That's what Cam Smith does when he wants to win. When he does win, is he does Cam Smith things. He's not gonna hit it 355 yards like Cam Young or Rory McIlroy, but he's gonna do his thing. He's gonna get up and down from everywhere. When he gets hot with the putter, there is arguably not one guy on the PGA Tour or LIV Tour better than Cam Smith when he gets hot with the putter. Like, it's really when he's hot with the putter, it's kind of Jordan Spieth, like 20 whatever year that was, like 16, 17. Don't you think? Like, it's as hot.
Yeah, that was his putting performance, not just the back nine, but really the whole tournament other than Saturday was amazing. I mean, he was just so dialed in on those greens, perfect speed. I think even just like the par save on 17 was so impressive to me. I mean, I do think that the announcers talk up how difficult a shot is a little more to make it like seem better when the
It's a
player
hard
does.
shot into
But
17.
that was a hard shot. Like, that was a hard shot. To have to putt it around a bunker with the potential, like, if you don't hit it at the right speed, that it falls back into the bunker. I mean, just a hard shot. And then you've got to make it like a, 10, 12 footer for par to really kind of keep the gas down. And he did it. I mean, he was incredible. I
Now,
was obviously wanting.
I have a surprise, Pat. I have a surprise.
Oh, God. Okay.
I do have a surprise. I was able to get Cam himself to do a quick phone call. He was in the airport. He was about to board. We all saw the picture of him boarding the plane and putting the Open Championship trophy case in his overhead compartment storage. Minutes before that picture was taken, we were able to get a quick phone call with Cam. He answered just a few short questions. And when news breaks of this, it could get real interesting. I will now ask producer Sam to fire this video. All right, guys, DB here with a very exclusive interview with the champion golfer of the year, our buddy, my pick to win on the Big Balls betting card at 28-1. Cam Smith has so kindly taken a phone call for us in the airport. I just want to ask you real quick, how did it feel yesterday to become the champion golfer of the year?
Yeah, DB, thanks, mate. Yeah, thanks, mate. It was amazing. It was really amazing just to be able to do that at the home of golf and just drag my nuts all over Rory's face and the Rory lovers. I just never felt like anybody was really pulling for me, right? Maybe my mom, and that was really it. But it was just great, like knowing that I was stuffing birds down their pie holes there in Scotland, just birdie after birdie after birdie, and I just feel like letting my nuts hang right there at the home of golf and drag through the old stomping grounds at Tom Morris was just the best thing. It was a highlight of my career, Dave.
Oh God, dude, that's amazing. So I'm sure you partied last night.
Yeah,
Everybody wants to know, how many drinks fit in the claret jug. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
tell us about the party.
Yeah. Everybody's been asking me that. It's really blood fucking annoying, honestly. But it's about 2 beers, and I've had 2 beers in there. I've had some Guinness and put in a little Aussie beer in there as well. But yeah, we partied hard, had some strippers, and did a little blow with DJ. He had a supplier over here, and I just made a call to him, phoned him up, and did a little line or two. That's probably how I'm able to be awake with you. I mean, I don't have this mullet, and not be able to party. You know, DB, if you had a mullet like mine and you didn't throw down with some strippers and blow, everybody'd be confused, mate. So, you know, that's what we did. It was a good time, and I'm ready to rest up and come back at it and get back on the tour.
All right, one more question. I know you're busy.
If
You're in the terminal.
if
You said the tour. Talk to me about LIV. Have they approached you?
if
What's the plan? Would you share with us
if
what's going on with Cam Smith and LIV Golf?
Oh, mate, it's a sore subject because as I was dragging my nuts on Rory's face yesterday, I was simultaneously dragging my nuts on Greg Norman's because Greg and I had been talking. We had come to a verbal deal, and you know, I told Greg after I won, it's gonna be more, mate. It's gonna be more. You got to give me more. You know, I'm an Aussie. I not many morals, and I love my boats and my fishing, and I need some. You know, I need the quan, DB. I need the quan. So I told Greg to get your heart right and your pencil sharp, mate. And he's supposedly doing that right now, and you know, we'll see. I doing the blow with DJ last night was really eye opening. To be able to do that on the Live Jet freely and with openly would just be a dream. Really, honestly, it would. So yeah, going to Live. Hey DB, I gotta go. They're calling me up to the plane now. Gotta go. Thanks for having me on the show. Would love to come back on, mate.
Listen, thanks, Cam. I appreciate it, dude. Thanks. We'll let you get out of here. We appreciate the time.
Yeah.
And man, best of luck the rest of the year.
Thank you, mate. Thank you, mate. All right, see you. Hey, tell Pat to suck it, mate. Didn't have me on his card. What a loser, chump. Suck. Cheers, mate.
Man, Cam Smith could not have been more accommodating with his
What a
time. We
great
appreciate
guy.
that. I mean, imagine
What a
winning the
great
Open
guy.
Championship.
He says yeah a lot.
Damn, dude. I mean, I got to tell you. I mean, for a 4-minute interview, if Cam Smith didn't go hard, onto Rory, onto the fans in Scotland,
Yeah,
onto
good for
Greg
Cam.
Norman, and then one parting blow to you on the way out. I mean,
I'm just glad he recognized who I
I thought
was.
it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Super pumped to get Cam's time. As always, we are presented to you by our friends at Covers. Winning starts at covers.com. If you want to check out the best sports betting website out on the market right now, that's been doing it for over 20 years, 25 years, I think, actually, and over 20 million sports bettors, hit up covers.com to do their thing. Go check it out. We appreciate them for supporting the podcast. And, thanks for helping facilitate the phone call with Cam there, guys. That was beautiful, man. Like a lot said there, Pat. I mean, it did feel like not a lot of people were pulling for Cam. It felt like the claps, the applause were just we have to do this kind of thing. Obviously, everybody wanted Rory to win. That was a thing that I felt. And I felt on an island. I felt like it was like me and Cam and Cam's mom and Cam's wife or girlfriend or whatever, and like his caddy, and that was it. We were the only, and his agent, because his agent's about to get paid. I felt like we were the only people cheering for Cam Smith, and everybody else wanted Rory. And then he just did his thing. He just said, Rory, if you're not gonna pull it out and let's measure together, then I'm gonna pull it out and I'm gonna mushroom bruise you all across the old course, the whole back nine, and I'm gonna dominate you, absolutely dominate this golf course and you, and show you what a dog I am. And I loved it. I freaking loved it. Now, would it have been really warm and fuzzy, and all the journalists in golf would have had their they would have erections lasting longer than 4 hours. They'd all be in their physician's offices today because Rory tipped the cap to Tiger on Friday, standing on one tee as Tiger was coming down 18, and Rory, the godsend for the PGA Tour, saving the world from the evil LIV Tour and Dr. Norman. It would have been fantastic. But Cam said, no, bump that. I'm taking this thing because Rory won't. And then Rory didn't even finish second. He finished third. So interesting to see. And also interesting, Pat, that less than 24 hours later, tons of LIV rumors swirling around Cam Smith. And he did not answer the question very well last night when asked after he won. He did not deny it. And if you ask me, everything about that interview says Cam Smith is going to LIV. Is it going to be soon, or is it going to be after the Tour Championship and a chance to win a bunch of money? I don't know, but it sounds like Cam Smith's going to LIV. What do you think about all this?
Yeah, I mean, I'll start with first with Cam winning the Open. I mean, I thought it was a fantastic display of golf. I mean, he came out there and he made some very poor decisions on Saturday, or one incredibly poor decision that almost took his ass out of the tournament. But he managed to turn that around, and he got hot with the putter on the back nine. I mean, 5 straight birdies was incredible. I think though, if we want to make this about Rory. Personally, we know I would have loved for Rory to win. I don't think I care really what the rest of the media cares about with him. I don't really that comment was a little bit out there, I guess. I don't really understand that one, but I just like Rory.
Yes, the media all wanted Rory to win.
You asked me to talk, and I'm talking. So I think I was a big fan of Rory winning because I'm a big fan of Rory. I don't care what other media people think.
I didn't say you did. I didn't say you did. I know that about you.
So either way, but if we're actually getting into the play here, Cam played and beat Rory.
Yes.
But you certainly could not make an argument, I don't think at all, that Rory, if you watch golf and you know golf, that Rory choked this away, because he didn't. He hit the ball incredibly well on that the entire day. I don't even know if I could say like if I'm putting a mistake on what Rory did, it's probably not being aggressive enough with some of his putts. I think he almost lagged too many of them trying to get it close and to make it because he two-putted on every single damn green. He had a few that just burned edges and probably could have gone in, and then it's a whole different ball game. And then he had a couple shots where he had wedges into the green, and he flew it past a little too far, where I think maybe that's adrenaline or whatever. But I think there's a lot of people that could have a sentiment that we always get when Rory doesn't win a major, that he choked it away or whatever. I don't think that happened at all. He got it taken away by a guy who played way better than him. I mean, a guy that shot 64 on Sunday.
Yeah.
And I think if a couple more putts drop, Rory's in the playoff, and who knows what happens then. So it's kind of a narrative where you just I get it. Like you wanted Cam to win because you had him on your betting card, and you don't really care what the media thinks about him or you or whatever else. I just wanted Rory to win. I'm just a fan of Rory, so I don't care what the media wanted, but I think it would have been a great story. I think it would have been.
It would have been.
But Cam won, so that's just golf. That's literally golf. That's what happens.
Yeah, listen, I mean, I didn't say Rory choked. I don't think Rory choked. I think it did come down to the putter, and we talk about this all the time. Like, there's variance with putting. There just is. And there's guys all the time that are tremendous ball strikers that all we're looking for is that 1 week where they happen to make a few extra putts than they normally do. And when that happens, they're up there. They're up there and they're contending. With Cam Smith, it's kind of opposite. Like, Cam Smith is typically always putting better than the field, statistically, and you're just hoping he doesn't do something dumb off the tee or with a wacky approach shot or something like that. He
did something really dumb, but his
Saturday.
Putter saved his ass.
Yeah. But he didn't on the back nine on Sunday. Like, he really didn't. He hit the ball well. He didn't make any horrible. The shot into 17 wasn't the best, but it wasn't a mistake. Like, he just didn't hit it where he wanted it to. Right? It's a hard shot. So, I mean, I definitely agree. Like, Rory didn't choke it. Cam took it. Right? And Rory was a couple of putts away from it dropping. But I know you didn't. I know you're a huge Rory fan, and I listen. I mean, part of me, I would have rather Rory win than Cam Young. If it wasn't going to be Cam Smith, I wanted it to be Rory, right? And it would have been a great story, and it probably ultimately would have been a more memorable Open Championship 10 years from now. If Rory would have won, we would all probably remember. We'll probably all remember it a little bit better had he done it with the whole Tiger thing. And who knows what Tiger's future, lies 5 years from now when they come back to the old course. But the deal on Friday was cool, but it just, dude, Cam Smith's a dog. What do you think about the LIV thing? You think he's going?
I don't know. I mean, at this point, it's kind of hard to really, I think he probably would. And I think it would be a pretty big blow to the tour, especially having the Open champion and to the RNA. I mean, the RNA came out. We could just go back to that. They came out and were very, deliberate about their opinions on the LIV Tour, and it was not good. They were, it made it sound like they were going to do whatever they could to not let certain play. This year they had to let everybody in. I can't remember who the guy's name is. That is, kind of whatever is the head of the RNA, but he made it pretty clear that he is not a fan.
Yeah.
So I think it would be a big blow to the tour to see their current Players champion, the current Open champion, move to the LIV Tour. I don't think he's doing it anytime soon. I think he'll play through the FedEx Cup and whatever else. I think we'll see. I mean, Augusta National's now really on the clock, and that's not going to come for a while. But they're going to be the next real. I mean, Fred Ridley's press conference that will be in the first part of April.
But
next year,
surely they're going to make a statement before then.
Well, they may. Who knows? I mean, he's on the stage during the tournament week. But he probably might do something earlier than that. But usually they don't like to make it about them early in the year, So we'll see what happens. But that's going to be interesting to see what the Augusta National's take is on all of this. But I don't know. Nothing surprises me at this point. I mean, apparently Europeans don't care about the Ryder Cup anymore. They got their ass whipped by the U.S. and then all of a sudden they just kind of quit. Basically, I feel like the Europeans have really quit on the Ryder Cup. They are done. They got their ass kicked by us, and now they don't really care about it.
I mean, it's not like what does it matter that Stenson gives up the captaincy? Like it. I mean, I get it. I just think if there hasn't been a European Tour player that is left that is truly going to make a difference next year for the actual playing team. There's not one.
I agree with that, but the people that were very, they were. I mean, you look at Westwood, you look at Poulter, you look at Casey Garcia.
Yeah,
the captain is now basically turning his back on it. I get it. I get the reasons. But they can't sit there. We hear this whole narrative from the Europeans about how much they care about the Ryder Cup and they care more than the U.S. does and whatever else. I don't believe that's true. I think that's a bunch of BS if you ask me. If they're, at least they could come out and say, how passionate they are about the Ryder Cup. But yeah, I'm going to take the money. They didn't even say that. They just said, I'm just leaving and I don't really give a shit. So maybe I don't know. Maybe our beatdown in Wisconsin just totally, we got rid of the Europeans in the Ryder Cup. We said, you know what?
We beat the enthusiasm.
We beat the enthusiasm out of them. They realized that we are that much better in golf for the next foreseeable future, and so they might as well just quit the Ryder Cup. They just quit.
Yeah, well, they're mailing it in. That's enough of the Open Championship breakdown. We got to get into the 3M Open, the betting picks. Before we do, quick video here. Pat's acting debut. Enjoy.
That early morning tea time is coming, so instead of hitting the snooze button, let me show you how to revolutionize your day with Front 9 Coffee. Because I know you don't want to watch a 3-minute video. We preheated the water, got out all the equipment, pre-soaked the filter. I just didn't grind the coffee. Everybody needs a good caddy. The most important part of the perfect cup of coffee is the pour. Making sure you have the right amount of water is essential to the perfect cup of coffee. Remember, you're not pouring water over coffee beans. You're pouring water over the beans of life. Just remember to do it in small, tight circles. Congratulations. Now that the brewing process is over, you have yourself the perfect cup of coffee. What makes it perfect, you ask? Not the process, the beans. It's nice having a good caddy. Yeah.
Dang, Pat the coffee caddy making that acting debut for our friends at Front 9. It's not about the pour, it's about the beans, man. It's about them fresh beans at Front 9 Coffee. Our friends at Front 9 Coffee started here in Augusta, Georgia. Support a small business if you don't mind. Go to Front 9, that's the number 9, coffee.com, and use promo code TJ10. These people started out of Augusta, Georgia. They love golf. They love coffee. They're making them come together, right? Beautiful flavors. Now you've got the Pat flavor, the DB flavor is available for purchase. You can actually find that on our website on tj.com/shop, or you can go to front9coffee.com. And check them out. I think my flavor is much more delicious than Pat's. But you be the judge. You be the judge. Buy them, sample them, see what you think. Support our friends at Front Nine Coffee. They're also supporting the Tour Junkies' first ever live golf tournament and event going down in September at Mountain Valley. We're excited about that. They're going to do a coffee takeover to give you coffee in the morning. But then, as soon as like it hits, I don't know, probably 11 o'clock in the morning, they're going to switch to coffee cocktails. They've got a delicious Irish coffee they make there. It's
very
fresh.
good. Yeah.
It's small batch artisan coffee, freshly ground when you order it, delivered to your front door in just a couple days, anywhere in the U.S. and Canada. So check it out. Use promo code TJ10 to get some of that fresh hitting coffee goodness. Good job, Pat. That was beautiful, man. That was great. No lines, but you nailed it. You still nailed it.
Yeah, I don't think I had any lines in any of the shoots.
Okay. Well, you still nailed it. All right, we're talking the 3M Open. If you're looking for a course breakdown video, that is on the YouTube channel, or you can listen to it on the podcast feed as well. I gave you 13 minutes of all the information you need to know and nothing you don't need to know about TPC Twin Cities, what it takes to win here. But, Pat, this is a birdie fest. This is a TPC course. They want birdies and they want carnage. There's a lot of water hazards here at TPC Twin Cities. We've seen this will be the fourth year they played it at this event. Last year, your winner was Cam Champ. The year before that, Michael Thompson. And the year before that, Matthew Wolff. All three guys came in between the 125 and 150 to 1 range. Matt Wolff was a rookie, first win on the PGA Tour. Everybody thought, oh my God, this kid's going to be a stud. Turns out he's not. Michael Thompson won by putting his brains out, having a good approach week. Cam Champ, actually, believe it or not, didn't win by dominating off the tee. He had a massive strokes gained putting week.
Yep.
But it's going to be, a little wider fairways. These guys are going to bomb it down there. They hit it a long way on this golf course. Then it's going to be a dart throwing competition to these pretty average to maybe even larger than average green complexes that are pure bent grass. The ball rolls and does exactly what it looks like it's going to do. Just start it on its line, get the pace right, and your money. Then it's going to be about making birdies. So let's look at the top of the board. We're going to pull DraftKings Sportsbook odds, but we're also going to do a little shopping for you. We're going to do the shopping so you don't have to. Although I did that this morning, on the Monday morning first look show, and we already mined a lot of great value from that. So top of the board, the betting board on DraftKings, you've got Tony Finau leading the way at 11 to 1, followed by Sung Jae, How about this? I mean, what if I told you at the beginning of the year Cameron Tringali would be the same odds to win a golf tournament as Hideki Matsuyama? I don't understand that at all.
That is kind of crazy when you think about it. But Hideki might be. Who knows? Maybe he's going to LIV, and they're factoring that in. The non-care.
That wasn't the case earlier today. Are people pounding Cameron Tringali right now? What is going on?
I've seen a little difference actually. I think there's some value on Cam in some different books.
Okay, that's only on DraftKings. Yeah, Tringali is definitely higher. DraftKings thinks Cameron Tringali. I mean, is his dad on the board or something? Is his dad a linesman? I don't understand.
They think the Camerons, because Cameron Young and Cam Smith, it's just like his name is Cameron, so they're like, oh wait, we better shorten that up a little bit.
That's what it is. Okay, We'll get to that. Adam Hadwin's also at 18 to 1. That's also ridiculous. Maverick McNeely's at 18 to 1. Okay, have these guys ever heard of Hideki Matsuyama? What is going? Davis Riley's 22 to 1, and then you got Cameron Davis, Adam Long, Sahith Theegala, all at 25 to 1. Am I seeing this right? Is Ju Young Kim at 28 to 1?
See, he's 40 to 1 on BetMGM.
A lot has changed since I did the first look show here. Actually, 12 hours ago. I went live 12 hours ago for the first look show. And let me just tell you, if y'all aren't catching that on every Monday morning on YouTube, you're missing it because we're firing on bets and we're getting great value. And we've hit 3 winners out of the last 4 weeks. You got to check that show out. While we're here, before we get into the picks, give us a like. Give us a like right here. Give us a subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. Drop a comment, if you will. Tell us what you thought about that Cam Smith interview. I'd love to get some feedback from the Cam Smith interview, some takes, whether it was from the Open, whether it was from his escapades with Dustin Johnson last night, his going to LIV. What do you think? Drop that in the comments. All right, Pat. Favorites up to 25 to 1. 25 to 1. Let's put parameters around this. Who you like?
Well, I'll start here with I like Davis Riley. and I think 25 to 1 is the
Hard not
best
to.
number. Sorry?
Hard not to. Yeah.
Yeah, I love Davis Riley, and I think 25 to 1 is the best number I've seen, despite being, I think we just saw 22 to 1 on DK, but he's 25 to 1 on PointsBet. Love Davis Riley this week. I think he's going to be one of the highest owned players on like DFS that you can play. We don't care about ownership though when we're betting players, and there's a good reason that he's up there. I mean, he's number 2 in the field when you look at just across the board rankings between ball striking and approach, where he's top 5. He's top 5 in opportunities gained, which is a good scoring stat to look at. He's top 5 in birdie or better percentage. So I think that, Davis Riley makes a lot of sense to bet him at, especially you can get him at that 28 to 1 number. I like Sahith Theegala. I think that he's God, it's not Theegala, it's Theegala. I don't know why I always want to say that. But I do like Sahith. Theegala at, I think the best number I've seen him at is, right around 25 to 1. I do like that for him, even though traveling back from being at the Open Championship, where he had a good showing for his first time ever out there, but just has been playing really well lately. I think he's just week to week a good player. I don't care how much he's been playing, and I do like him. I think he's just on the verge of winning out here on tour. So those are my 2 favorites here. I think if I'm going to give you a stay away for me from a betting standpoint, now I do like him actually from a DFS standpoint, and this may sound weird, but I don't know if I want to play Sung Jae as short as like a 16 to 1, because I just don't know if I think I could, if I play him in DFS and he craps the bed and whatever, then it is what it is. But if he somehow catches a good week, which he has not played very well lately at all, then I get some upside from an ownership standpoint in DFS. But I don't really think I get much value playing him at like 16 to 1 as far as an outright. So he's probably my stay away.
Yeah, I agree on Davis Riley. We talked about him on the First Look show. He was 28 to 1 this morning. He was 26 to 1 when I went live. And then by the time I got done going live, he was down to 22. Now it looks like he's jumped back up. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Davis Riley right now. Well, he's 25 to 1 on points bet. You're right. I don't think I want to bet the Gala. I think that's my stay away. I think 4th week in a row with the travel for me is probably a no-go. I mean, it's not like he needs. He's done pretty well here lately. Like I don't think he needs the points or anything. Like he's fine. He's gonna have his PGA Tour card locked up. I think he could be okay, maybe in DFS, but I don't want to bet him to win outright. I think Davis Riley. I think Cam Davis at 25 to 1, which is crazy. I mean, a year ago I hit Cam Davis at 150 to 1 at the Rocket Mortgage, and here he is now 25 to 1. But he just played really well at the Barracuda. I think it was a top 5 finish, at least a top 10. I think it was a top 5 finish. Definitely a scorer, long hitter, can take advantage with the irons, and can get hot on bent grass putting surfaces. Love that about Cam D. I mean, if I were going to go a little shorter, though, like Hideki, I'm looking at it. I'm like, damn, if they're going to give me all these guys at 18 to 1, I mean, Hideki at 18 to 1 is not terrible. I mean, it doesn't feel like incredible value, but it feels like some kind of value. But Riley and Davis are for sure my favorites up here in this range.
I just don't, in fields like this and in tournaments like this, I just don't know if I really like taking anybody shorter than like 25 to 1.
Yeah. Well, I mean, neither one of us like doing that. So
yeah.
All right, let's move on, because the next couple ranges are definitely a little harder to nail down. I like a lot of names in here. I definitely have my favorites. Probably my favorite bet, and this is one that we hit hard this morning. I think we got him. I don't know. Maybe producer Sam can remember what we got him at. Brendan Steele continues to get shorter and shorter. I want to say he was 40 or 45, maybe 50 even. 50 to 1 this morning. Brendan Steele. What did we get Brendan Steele at this morning, producer Sam? Because we were talking about it on the show, or on the Monday morning show. We got him at 40 to 1. He's now at 35 to 1. And I mean, I still want to hit that. I still want to hit it.
This is Brendan Steele. Okay.
Brendan Steele is playing so good right now. Love the ball striking ability out of Steele. Played here once in 2019, finished T53. I don't care. He's been playing so good. Love him at 35 to 1. Loved him more at 40 to 1 this morning, which is, again, why you need to be watching that show. But anyway, I like that. I like JT Poston. We didn't talk about him on the DraftKings show at all. But I mean, I think we ride the hot form with JT. I mean, he battled there at the Open Championship. He battled. He missed the cut, but he was very close on the back nine, and then he kind of lost it. Coming off the win at the John Deere, T28 here last year. I think this could be an interesting spot for him still with a great putter. The irons have been very hot lately. I mean, he can make some birdies. We know that, right? So give him some greens in reg, he can do it. Look at just his top 10 finishes over the last since May or since April. Third at the Heritage, ninth at the Wells Fargo, runner up at the Travelers, won the John Deere. I mean, like, JT can go low. So I like JT at 40 to 1 there on DraftKings. Then working down the board, I got two more. Matt Naismith at 55 to 1 for me. Naismith has not a good record here, but I don't think it matters. I think Naismith is a much better player than he was a year ago. He had two missed cuts at this event in the last 2 years, but tremendous ball striker. He's been in the fire a little bit, third at the Valspar, 12th at the Heritage, 19th at the Travelers. Like, he's been a late group on a Sunday now. He's felt that. I like it at 55 to 1 on DraftKings. And then finally at 65 to 1 on DraftKings, Emiliano Grillo, man. I mean, he's coming back from the Open. I think he just miss the cut at the Open Championship? I think he just missed it. But the week before, almost ran down JT Poston at the Deere, finishing runner-up. The ball striking has definitely come back for Grillo. He finished third here in 2020, missed the cut here last year, but still gained strokes on approach both years. Ball striking and putting was good in 2020. Maybe Grillo's found a little something. Gained 4 strokes putting at the Deere. That's pretty good. What did he do at the Open Championship? I mean, it's such a different beast. But yeah, I mean, he actually gained strokes putting at the Open as well, despite missing the cut. So I think Grillo at 65 to 1 on DraftKings is the last name for me in this kind of mid tier.
Yeah, I actually had Grillo written down. I do like him at that 65 to 1 number. Starting out for me in this tier, I love Adam Long at 35 to 1. He's a guy that's been, playing very well recently. Coming off of a top 13 at the John Deere, was T25 at the Travelers before that. You look at his history here, hasn't been bad at all when you consider a 25th last year, second place finish in 2020. So 35 to 1, I think, is the best number I've seen for Adam Long. He's a little shorter on DraftKings, but the other books I've seen him really around like 33 to 1 to 35 to 1. So I like that for him. I like Nick Hardy at 45 to 1. I just think he's another guy that's just been playing, very well lately. Coming off just 3 straight top 30 finishes with the top 10 at the Travelers, top 15 at the U.S. Open. So I do like Nick Hardy there at 45 to 1. I like Wyndham Clark also. He is at 65 to 1. Maybe he's kind of like the Cam Champ of last year, a guy that can hit it a mile off the tee. If he just gets hot with the putter this week, I think he can win this golf tournament. Coming in pretty good recent form as well, has made his last 3 cuts. So I think Wyndham Clark is another one there at 65 to 1. He's had some mixed history here with 2 straight missed cuts, but he did have a T5 finish back in 2019 on this exact same course. So I like Wyndham Clark there. I'll add in, I mean, we mentioned Joo-Young Kim, who was 25 to 1 listed on DK, but he's 41 on BetMGM. I think that's a good number if you can still get 40 to 1 on Kim.
Crazy.
Coming after, I don't know, who knows? It may have changed by now, but there's a big difference there. So it makes me want to go in on a little Joo-Young Kim, who's just been playing fantastic lately all over the world.
And seems electric. He seems like
he does.
Electric fella. Your Nick Hardy thing brings up a point. You got this event and 2 more, so 3 total events before you have to be in that 125 to make the FedEx Cup playoffs to lock up your PGA Tour card in full status. Nick Hardy's one of those guys on the bubble. He's at 132. He's definitely turned it on lately in the last month or so, playing well, but he's on the bubble at 132, and he's got to make up some ground. And this is one of those events where guys are ready to do that. You're going to see some of these guys playing a lot of weeks in a row, gearing up to make a run to make that top 125 or to position themselves as best as possible in the FedEx Cup playoffs. Okay. Shall we get to the long range? Up to 130 to 1 on DraftKings, Pat. You've got past champion Michael Thompson around 80 to 1, Smotherman around 80 to 1, Tom Hoagie 100 to 1, won a birdie fest just earlier this year. Grayson Sigg, Lucas Glover 100 to 1 as well. Names like Callum Tarrant, Hank Lebioda, Hayden Buckley around 130 to 1. Who else? You got Garrick Higo, 130. Danny Willett, guy you were on last week who played really well at the Open Championship. Danny Lee, all at 130 to 1. This is, so we're getting into that bombs territory on DraftKings. There's a good bit of names in here too, Pat, that are tempting to me. I think it may be crazy because he's not playing well at all, but it feels a little like it's gone too far. The odds have gone just too far on Tom Hoagie at 100.
Yes. Yeah.
I consider him Minnesotan because he's from North Dakota. And I just don't know the difference between the two. Maybe one has more lakes. Other than that, it's basically the same place. So he's, as our boy Chalk Bomb Ben loves to hear, he's a Minnesota guy. Okay. By default or by my rule, he's a Minnesota guy. Okay. He's got a lot of missed cuts recently. He's not played well. He missed the cut at the Open Championship. He missed the cut at the Genesis. He missed the cut at the Travelers, the U.S. Open, the Memorial, the Charles Schwab. It's not been great. He did miss the cut at the Open, but actually he gained strokes with his irons. He actually hit his irons very, very well. Couldn't putt worth a crap. Didn't hit it very well off the tee. But I do find this could possibly be a place where, in a poor field, a guy like Hoagie, good ball striker, could get it done. And he's played here all 3 years, 23rd, 46th, and a missed cut. Gain strokes, ball striking, if you total all those years up. 100 to 1, I just feel like it's too far. I just feel like it's too far for Tom Hoagie. From there, I got 3 guys. Maybe I'll give you 2 guys, and I'll see if you name the other one. 2 guys at 130 to 1. Danny Lee. Danny Lee. Bomber. Good iron player. D. Lee, it's just all about the short game for him, right? But he's a boomer bust player. He's a PGA Tour winner, won the Greenbrier a long time ago. He's played here twice, finished miscut, 26th. Between those 2 events, he's gained over 8 strokes ball striking between both those years. 130 to 1, I think, is a decent value on Danny Lee. And then I'm going to talk about Callum Tarrant. I'm going to continue to tout Callum Tarrant until the cows come home. He could have won the John Deere, played good at the U.S. Open. He needs the FedEx Cup points. I'll tell you that. The boy needs points. I think he's a 144 in the FedEx Cup standings, and 130 to 1. The London Bomber. I'll take Callum Tarrant.
Yeah, I had a feeling you'd mention Tarrant, so I didn't even touch him. But I agree on Hoagie. I think 100 to 1 is still pretty long for a guy who really played fantastic early in the season, and had a win, right? So I think Tom Hoagie there at 100 to 1 is a pretty good number there. I like Matthias Schwab at 95 to 1, or Matthias. Is it Matthias? Matthias?
I would say Matthias, but I don't know. Who knows? Who could?
Either way, the best number I see is 95 to 1 on FanDuel for him. He is a guy that, though has played well recently with the T16 at the John Deere Classic, T53 at the Travelers. I think he finished up there at the Barracuda last week too. Am I wrong about that?
No, I think he did play the Barracuda. I don't know what he finished. Let's see.
Oh, that's a little dead air there. So I don't know, but I think that still I think he could be a pretty good play.
Missed the cut.
Okay, wonderful. Anyway, but I do like him. I like I mentioned Hoagie. Here's one that you probably wouldn't expect. How about Michael Gligic?
Oh, Gligic. I kind of
It's
like it.
it's
I
I
looked
mean,
at him.
he's a guy, he's right around 120 to 1. You look at his last 3 starts, T21 at the Barbasol, top 10 at the John Deere Classic, T40 at the Travelers. He's a guy that's been playing pretty well lately. And if you just kind of get that sneaky under the radar sort of play there at 120 to 1, I like that for him. So those are really like kind of the main ones in here, other than like I have several over 130 to 1. And I think there are more that we can look at in there. But if we're talking just, in that 76 to 1 to 130 to 1 range, those are my, really 3 favorites right there.
I'm a little surprised. So the guy that I left off, you didn't mention. I'm surprised you didn't mention Hayden Buckley. He was another one at 130 to 1 that kind of interested me. I mean, he's a horrific putter. Horrific putter. But I mean, bent grass greens can kind of sometimes neutralize guys because they go where they look like they're going to go, and you just start on the line and you go. So Buckley at 130 to 1, it feels like he's got the firepower to possibly contend here. But all right, so let's talk bombs over 130 to 1 because I don't know that I have. It looks like a lot of people in the chat agree with you as well on Michael Gligic. Michael Kelly says hit it and forget it with Gligic, I guess, maybe. And then Federal Mayhem says Gligic and forget it. Love that. Yeah, I think Gligic's all right. All right, so let's talk bombs over 130 to 1. Tons of guys in here. I really only have, I don't know. I don't even know if I have one. I'll let you start, and I'll maybe
Well,
flip.
I think there's a couple. I think Austin Cook at 200 to 1 is a really good number on a guy that's played, very well
Yeah,
recently.
well,
I mean, you look at just the last few tournaments, he's definitely making cuts. He's a winner on tour before. Doesn't have the greatest history here, but still, I mean, a guy that's won before, that's making cuts. You never know what he can do in a field like this. So I do like him at 200 to 1. I like Henrik Norlander at 250 to 1. Had a great finish last week on the in the Barracuda. So I think Norlander could be another one that's
Norlander scares me, and I love Henrik Norlander.
I know
mean, he
you
didn't
do. I know
finish
you.
31st. He didn't have a great finish. He finished 31st.
Well,
And
he had a bad Sunday, but he
before
was up
that,
there.
he's been terrible. Yes, he did have a bad Sunday.
But he was up there. He was in the top 5 before
But
Sunday.
Sunday is a fourth of the tournament.
I know. I'm just saying if we're
He was
getting it's 250 to 1. So I don't think that's if you want to fire in on some long shots, which we've just said recently,
yeah,
this is kind of long shot
just not
season
my. I don't
here
like.
at this event. A couple others that I could look at. You got like a lot of them are right at 130 to 1. So I guess we could have put these in the range before that, but like a Kramer Hickok, Chesson Hadley, both of those are to 130 to 1. Those are 2 guys that have played well recently.
Why are you going backwards in the ranges? What are you doing? Where were you 5 seconds ago?
Now, see, I look at things differently because sometimes I stop before the 130 to 1 and then I go into them.
No, it's up to 130 to 1.
Yeah, I think you should take it's like a rounding up or rounding down type thing. Like I think if you got 130 to 1, you put them in the long
We
shot.
do this every week, Pat. We do it every week.
I know. I'm voicing my opinion right now.
Okay, continue.
Anyway, I think that's all I got. Who do you got? You got anybody in here?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like James Hahn always does well in Birdie Fest. He's 150 to 1. Other than that, like I don't know. I mean, but doesn't he do well? I feel like he does in Birdie Fest. T27 at the Barbasol. I don't know if he played the Barracuda. He's been active on Twitter this week, I'll tell you that. 9th at the Wells Fargo, 9th at AT&T Byron Nelson. I don't know. I don't know.
Who's been active on Twitter?
James Hahn's been active on Twitter today about
Hmm.
LIV. The only one I guess I'll go to is I'm riding the hot Barracuda week, which the Barracuda is obviously is Stableford. It's a birdie fest. The guy who finished 5th is Scott Gachesky. So I'll go with Scott Gachesky's 250 to 1. I like that. Oh, and Satoshi Kodaira. I do think Satoshi at 250 to 1 is interesting. PGA Tour winner, 30th at the Deer, 27th at the Barbasol. Gain strokes approach, gain strokes off the tee, both of those weeks. He's kind of a boomer bust guy. I think 250 to 1's too long for Kodaira.
Have you ever caught a barracuda
No, no,
fish?
no.
I've caught several before. I've caught them, and they're a mean looking fish. All right,
Yeah,
but
they are. They are scary looking.
I feel like if you took a barracuda and you cut it up into a bunch of pieces, and then you ground it up, and then you made some grass fertilizer with it, that it would make your grass grow so good with some barracuda in it, because it has some crazy teeth. It has some good meat, and
What?
so if you needed some natural barracuda in your grass, okay, like I think that would help your grass grow. But I don't know if that's what would happen. But
This is
if it
the
would,
worst
but
transition you've ever made into an
But
answer.
if it would, I mean, listen, do you worry about all the chemicals you might be putting in your grass? Maybe you need to put some natural barracuda skins in there. So I don't know. So, I mean, if you're worried about chemicals, traditional lawn care lays down 90 million pounds of pesticides each year. Okay. Sunday is different. They're on a mission to change how people care for their yards. Okay. You need some natural stuff in your yard. Okay. You need some barracuda guts in there. You don't need to
Oh
worry
my
about
God!
anything.
Stop saying that.
Just saying, like that helps with grass and growth. Okay. Sunday can help you grow a beautiful lawn without the guesswork or the nasty chemicals that don't have barracuda in it. Their custom plans include fertilizer and everything you need to easily care for your lawn, and with ingredients like seaweed. There's probably some seaweed in barracuda, iron, molasses, definitely iron in there. You can feel good with kids and pets being around. All you have to do is visit getsunday.com, put in your address, and their lawn analysis tool does the rest. Then they use soil and climate data to create a personal nutrient plan delivered to your door when you need it. I can tell you right now, it's been delivered to my door several times. It's fantastic. I use it every single time. My grass is growing better than it ever has before. You just attach this ready-to-use pouch to the garden hose that you have, and then you spray it. Takes less than 15 minutes. Best of all, it really works. I can vouch for it. I can tell you. And Sunday is offering our listeners 20% off full season plans. Start at just $129, and you can get 20% off at checkout when you visit getsunday.com/junkies. That's 20% off your custom plan at getsunday.com/junkies.
Bro,
Sunday lawn care.
barracuda, like minced barracuda in your fertilizing machine at your house is not the way to go. I can't even believe that transition. That was so rough. That was brutal.
No,
Um,
you never know what can grow your grass, man.
okay. All right. Let's talk our favorite outright bets, the numbers we think you need to hit right now, as well as our favorite top 20s presented to you by our friends at Covers. Covers.com is where winning starts. They've been doing it for over 25 years, and over 20 million sports bettors annually go to Covers to use their tools, to read their resources, their podcasts, all the good stuff. And like 95% of the whole site's free. So go check it out. It's also the home of our exclusive head-to-head matchup, props matchup, finish position stuff, all that goodness we put in every Tuesday afternoon into covers.com is free, and you can read it. It's an easy read. Okay. We didn't have a great week last week. I'll be honest. We did not have a great week at the Open. That's okay. We crushed it the week before. All good. All right. That's covers.com. Let's get into our favorite outrights. A couple top 20s we like too, Pat. I will say my favorite outrights are, I mean, the ones that just get me the most jazzed up are going to be Brendan Steele at 40-1. I love Brendan Steele at 40-1. If you can get him at 40-1 or even 35-1, I'll take it. The guy's been playing so well. He fits the profile of a good, great ball striker, birdie maker, playing so good right now. Love that for Brendan Steele. Matt Naismith to me is also a tremendous value at 55-1. Some books have him at maybe 50. You can still get that. Another great ball striker. Hasn't played well here before, but I think he's a different player. And I think this is a good spot for Matt Naismith. Tom Hoagie at 100-1 just feels too long. Even though the form isn't great, it just feels too long for a guy who's won on the PGA Tour in 2022 and continues to hit his irons well. He's from this part of the country. I don't know what that means, but I think it's pretty good. Tom Hoagie at 100-1. And then I'll go with Danny Lee at 130-1. PGA Tour winner, good ball striker, been hot. He's an up or down guy. He's either going to be in the top 10 or he's going to be mailing it in on Friday afternoon, kissing you goodbye. Those are my 4 favorite outrights.
Okay, my 4 favorite are I'm still gonna, pound the Sahith Thagala.
Mm,
Just, I mean, Drum, he's just been so good. I like him at 25-1. I like Adam Long at 35-1. He's one of my favorites there. I like Wyndham Clark also at 65-1. And then I think I'm gonna go with Gligic. Gonna go with Michael Gligic at 120-1. A little long shot there for you, a guy that's played well recently, and who knows what can happen this week. So I will go with him as my fourth and long shot winner.
okay. Top 20s. I'll start at the short end of that range. My favorite is Brendan Steele at plus 180. I mean, with this field, like I don't love taking some of those minus, some of those short numbers on the top 20. It's just a variable event. It's a weird field. It's a birdie fest. I don't love it. So I think Brendan Steele at plus 180 gives you the best value. I think Austin Smotherman, a guy that we haven't really talked about on this show so far. Austin Smotherman is at 3-1. He needs the FedEx Cup points. He currently sits at 134 in the FedEx Cup rankings. He's been playing well and he's been birdieing a ton. He just has to eliminate the doubles on the card and like the bogey runs that he's got. We know his caddy. We know they're fired up, ready to go. They know what they got to do. They're looking for a T7 or better this week. Austin Smotherman top 20 at 3-1. I like it. Justin Lauer and Tom Hoagie at 4-1. Like both of those numbers, I already talked about Hoagie. Lauer's sneaky hot right now. He's a long shot. He's sneaky in DFS, but 4-1 top 20, I like it. And then I'm going to give you a super bomb, Pat. Super bomb. 16-1
Oh, goodness.
top 20. 16-1 top 20. Max McGreevy, who just missed the cut at the Barracuda, but he did have a 13th at the Barbasol the week before. Max McGreevy also well outside the top 125. I believe he sits at 131. So I guess he's not as bad as I thought. Max McGreevy needs him a good finish, and I believe he can get it done. 16-1 is a bomb. Top 20, I'll go there.
I was hoping you were going to go with the Jonas Blix 25-1
Done.
top 20, but I guess
Done.
you can't do that. But all right, well, starting for me at the shorter end here, I think Nick Hardy at plus 190 is a good fit there for a top 20 finish. I like him. Moving down the board a little bit, Matthias Schwab at plus 300. I mentioned him before as an outright. If you don't like that, then just maybe take him as a top 20 at plus 300. I think that's a pretty good number for him at that point there. I do like Kramer Hickok also at plus 400. And then if I'm going a little bit longer, if I'm going to give you, maybe we go into this plus 800 range. I think a guy like Brian Stewart at plus 800, who is just a very boring player, but he's kind of like Michael Thompson. He's kind of like Michael Thompson, who won here, last year or 2 years ago? So I think he plus 800, top 20. There you go.
That's a terrible play. I hate that play. Those are our favorite outrights and top 20s for you to jump on right now on covers.com. Check out the best odds. Read up all about it. Go make the best decisions. Winning starts at covers.com. And this show is presented to you by covers.com. All right, Pat. Prize picks, and then we'll button this bad boy up. There's not a lot on prize picks right now. They only have birdie or better, and they only have strokes up for 4 players. So Hit the Gala, Hideki Matsuyama, Tony Finau, and Sung J M. This is where I'm telling you, people, if you're not paying attention, if you're not in the Nut Hut looking at the Prize Picks channel every day, then you're missing out. You're missing out. People are making money hand over fist in the Prize Picks channel in the Nut Hut. But early on, any early leans here, I'm definitely more bullish on Tony Finau than any one of these 4 guys. So to take Tony Finau at 4.5 birdies or better, or strokes 69 or better, I take the over in birdies or better and the under in strokes. I think I feel best about the strokes number because I get the push equity if he just shoots 2 under. But I feel like 3 under for Tony. He's played here all 3 years. He's played very well at this event. I think Tony is in play here for sure on Prize Picks at 69 strokes or better, which means if I go to the birdies or better category, I can't play him there. So I can either take, I told you I don't know about Sahith. I feel like Sungjae or Hideki under on the strokes is probably the better play. But what do you think?
Well, we really just don't have a lot out there.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of options.
So if I'm choosing, I'm the opposite of you. Like I like Sahith to go over on the 4 birdies. So to get 5 birdies, I mean, the guy's a scorer. We know that. He's been doing that all year long. Especially I feel like coming out in the first round. I don't have his first round scoring on, numbers on me and the stats there, but he is 25th in the field in birdie or better percentage. He's top 20 in opportunities gained. So I think that, Sahith may not go under his 69 number, but I think he can get to that 5 birdie mark. But there's just so much. I mean, we just don't have a whole lot to go off of right here. But that's what I would go with.
He's definitely proven to be a scorer. That's for sure. I mean, Sahith is making birdies. I do worry a little bit about 4th event, all the travel. That's it. That's the only thing about Sahith. Otherwise, this is a perfect place for him. I really do believe that. He's a young guy though. I don't know. Maybe he takes a few Barracuda chunks and takes those down, and then he's fine. He's rejuvenated. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who can? That's it. That's it for us for the 3M Open. Listen, it's a 3M Open. Let's have a week. Let's hit a long shot. Let's hit a bomb. Let's bend over our bookies, and make them pay. All right. I'm DB. See you out.